I doubled my events company in 2020 on a $0 a month marketing budget without relying on social media. Here's what I did. My success with Grow Disrupt, doubling it in size and achieving sold out status on a $0 a month marketing budget without relying on social media in the middle of the greatest event shutdown that I think any of us have lived through has sparked a lot of questions, and notably so. Now, 4 years later, we are still selling out our events. We launched a brand new event this year that was profitable right off the bat, and we're still having a lot of fun with our marketing. So here's what I've learned is most important when it comes to marketing and, more importantly, selling out your events. Just as a little background so you understand, our event tickets run all the way from $69 for the event that we did earlier this year up to $10,000. So everything that I'm talking about is stuff that can be applied no matter the size of your event. Number one, show, don't tell. I can sit here and say that my events are the coolest and they are so much fun and you should come all day long, but at the end of the day, people just aren't going to necessarily grab onto that. One, there's too many options out there, and two, we've all had someone who promised something and then it didn't necessarily deliver. So it's really important, if you want people to believe what you're doing is actually cool, that you show them what you're doing and that you engage the senses as much as possible. That means showing them stuff like, yes, the food that you're going to serve, what the room is going to look like, the swag that you're going to give out. If you're taking people out on excursions, like actually give them an idea of what it's going to be like to experience that excursion. Same thing goes for content. We have this idea that if we promise the content is going to be really good, then it's going to be really good. But in my experience, like giving them a taste of what not just the actual content is going to be like, but also how it's going to be delivered are really, really important steps. Now, I'll address the elephant in the room here. When I started, my original thought was, oh my gosh, I can't tell anyone about like all the things or show them all the cool things we're doing, because then when they get to the event, there won't be any cool surprises left. Here's the secret. Do more cool things. I know that was kind of like a little bit of a, okay. Yes, but the thing is, you have to have enough things that you can talk about and enough things you can still surprise people with if you really want to make success out of your event company. Number two, marketing events is a year-round thing. If you're going to do that event every single year, you should be marketing throughout the year for that event. There is a reason that most events don't break into the black until the 3 to 5 year mark, because you build a base of people who come to the event and want to come back and come back and come back. But in order to do that, they're going to have to remember the event exists, which means you're going to need to keep talking about it. You may not sell tickets all year round. We don't sell a ton of tickets to the Grow Retreat, usually between about March to like August, September of each year, but we still talk about the Grow Retreat all year round. We grab tons of content during the events that we can go back to throughout the year and create new, fresh videos or posts from. And the last tip I'll give you is to do stuff that goes beyond just social media. Now, that can come to including an emailing campaign or doing outreach campaigns, which can be email, can be mail, can be phone, can be text, can be social, but having an outreach campaign is usually helpful as well. So yes, posting on social media, but have some variety of outreach going on. You should have some sort of like base level of emails going out consistently to your database to keep them apprised and keep them interested in your brand. But more than even those pieces, you should do something that goes beyond the message, the way you are putting it out there. For example, in 2023, we produced a pop ballad, a 3-minute and 48-second pop ballad about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Now, we did this, yes, because that's part of our messaging with Grow Disrupt, and it really fit in, and we had the tools and the talent to do it, so it was fun, we did it. But it was also a really important piece of messaging and marketing for the Grow Retreat that happened just 3 months later. We created a coffee blend, a custom coffee blend, where I worked with a sommelier to create a custom coffee blend, and then we just talked about it on our social media, we talked about it on our mailing list, we talked about it when we saw people in person, we gave out samples of it, and that in and of itself also generated sales because people knew the only way they were going to get real, like a full bag of the coffee, was by buying a ticket to our event. We're in the midst of producing a comic about life and entrepreneurship with ADHD. These are all things that don't necessarily like scream, hey, I put on an event, but they give people who like my brand something to talk about so that they can then bring their friends and their networks into my circle. Remember that build it and they will come hasn't worked since like the 1960s. There are two pieces to putting on an event. Yes, the actual event production, the content, the location, the food, all of that. And yes, there's probably going to be more to do here than you think there's going to be to do. But the other piece that people just don't necessarily think about is the marketing piece. It doesn't matter how good your event is. If you are not marketing it well, people are not going to show up. This is one of many reasons reasons that events have a hard time getting off the ground. This is one of many reasons that individuals will put on 1 or 2 events and then not do another, because they put all of their energy into creating the event and not enough energy into marketing and showing off the work that they were doing. Events are not for the faint of heart, but they are fun. They can be incredibly profitable. You just have to make sure you're managing your budget, marketing the heck out of them, and having fun while you do it.